Within, without, the cosmos wide am I. In joyful sweep, I loose forth and draw back all, a birthless, deathless spirit that moves and still ever abides within to hear my call. I who create on earth my joys and doles, to fulfill my matchless quest in all my play, I veil my face of truth with golden hues, and I see the serpent night and python day. A consciousness bliss I feel in each breath. I am the self-amorous child of the sun. At will I break and build my symbol sheath, and freely enjoy the world's unshadowed fun. My only religion is love of God. This is what I have been teaching my students. Love God. This is the only religion. So they come from various backgrounds, but we have only one way to arrive at God's door, by practicing one thing, love of God. By virtue of our prayers and meditations, we try to please God in His own way. In our own ways we have tried for centuries long. We have had many more incarnations. We try to fulfill our desire. There is this hunger we can never satisfy. The way of desire, it is endless, endless, endless. Again, the way of, we use the term aspiration. Only love God in His own way. Love, devotion, surrender. What we heard, let Thy will be done. Ours is the same. We pray to God to fulfill Him in His own way, not our way. When He fulfills our desires from one house to two houses, then there comes a time. We are never fully satisfied. Then we suffer from the bite of egos and jealousy and all kinds of things. We think we are very great. Next moment, when you turn, somebody is greater. Then we say somebody is greatest, like this. So when you enter into the world of competition, we suffer. But when we enter into the world of oneness, we do not suffer. Our only desire is to please God in His own way, not always that the inner voice will tell us what is good, what is wrong. The inner voice will never make any mistake. And the inner voice will tell us, when you pray and meditate, when you pray like this, we go up. At that time we feel like this, God is listening to us, whatever we have said. But again, we pray to God to make us mind pure, to give us a big heart and all this. Pray this or prayer to fulfill Him. Then again we meditate like this. At that time we are talking to God, whatever we need from Him. Then when we meditate like this, we feel that God is talking to us. He is entering into us and He is saying, you can't do this, you should do this, you should. He advises us. When we pray, we talk to God. When we meditate, God talks to us. How to become His good children. So we talk to God when we pray, when we meditate, He comes and talks to us what we should do and what we should not do. Between nothingness and eternity, barren of events, reaching pretensions, my earthly life, obscurity, my real name, wholly unto myself I exist. I wrap no soul in my embrace, no mentor worthy of my caliber have I. I am all alone between failure and frustration. I am the red thread between nothingness and eternity. Meditation is the only way to increase our capacities in each and every field.
No matter what it is.
No matter what it is, because meditation helps us at every moment to offer our own individual will to God's will. So if we can identify by meditation, if you can identify ourselves, we can establish our oneness with God's will. Is there anything that we cannot achieve? When he said, "Let thy will be done," that means my Father and I are one. Mm-hmm. On the strength of his oneness, he said, "My Father and I are one." Then the Son became the Father himself. Mm-hmm. Just because we do not have that kind of faith in our Creator, we are separated from the Creator, from the creation. So meditation only unites us with the rest of the world, with heaven and earth. Meditation. So if meditation is the capacity, meditation is the capacity to unite us. The journey and the goal for meditation is in between, and meditation as a starter, meditation carries me to my destination, to my goal.
So start a few minutes in the morning and then.
What is the value of meditation?
Yes, the value of meditation is incalculable. One cannot measure the value of meditation. It is something measureless. When you meditate, we enter into our source. The source is the infinite, eternal, and the immortal in us. So when we establish a free access to our infinite capacities within us, we feel that we can be of dedicated service to humanity. So meditation takes us deep within, and then again brings us to the fore. Our inner divinities, inner qualities, meditation, by virtue of meditation, we can bring to the fore and offer our qualities to humanity. So
is it important to have a teacher for meditation? And do you need a mantra and things like that? Or if you don't really know anything about meditating, can you just sit down and meditate?
Certainly you can. It is not at all obligatory to have a teacher. And the person who did the best meditation on earth didn't have the teacher. But again,
that person was?
I mean whoever was,
okay.
Whoever realized God, that you can say, we say Lord Krishna, and you say Jesus Christ, and there are quite a few world saviors. Right. So then again, he who realized the highest, the absolute, for the first time, didn't have a teacher. Mm-hmm. Now here there are many people who go to school, colleges and universities, and again there are people like Bernard Shaw and India's Tagore. They did not have university degrees. Right. So here, if you have a teacher, well and good, but if you do not have, then you don't have to be doomed to disappointment.
Can you just sit down and meditate?
Certainly you can, only to make your mind calm, quiet and tranquil. And if you have read some books, spiritual books, then they can be of tremendous help to you.
Mm-hmm.
You meditate always when you're lifting weights, when you're doing the music, the compositions, poetry, art, the paintings? Is it always when you're meditating?
If it is personal, in my case, I always feel that somebody is meditating in and through me. Consciously I meditate for hours, and again I see and feel clearly that my inner pilot, I call, he is praying, he is meditating in and through me.
The inner pilot, that's an interesting expression.
Interesting.
How do you explain that to people who've never heard that?
Well,
I've heard it before from you. What does it mean?
Journey, we need a boat. If we want to reach a destination, we become a passenger, and there is a boatman, and that boatman plies the boat and takes us to our destination. Similarly, in the inner life also there is a river, a consciousness river. There the boatman, I am in his, out of his infinite bounty, he has allowed me to be in his boat. So now he is piloting the boat to my destination. He is the boat, he is the boatman, again he is the goal. So now I am a passenger. So he is, with all his infinite compassion and love, he is the boatman, he is sailing the boat towards the destination.
Do you feel, is there a certain time of the day to meditate? Of course, for everything there is a special time for us to eat at a particular time and take rest, sleep at a particular time. In that case, it is always advisable to meditate early in the morning and in the evening, at least twice. Because early in the morning, before the hustle and bustle, before you enter into the hustle and bustle of life, if you can pray and meditate, and then we make a very fast progress. In the evening, when the sun sets in, we feel the nature is peaceful, and that is the time. Early in the morning,
Early in the morning
and in the evening. And these two, early in the morning and the evening are the best times for each and every human being. Again, some people keep late hours, find it very difficult to get up early in the morning. So I say, whenever you get up is the best time for you. You get up, say, at 5 o'clock, and I get up at 10 o'clock in the morning. For you, 5 o'clock is the best time. For me, I get up at 10 o'clock. So at least before I enter into earthly activities, if I perform my heavenly activities, which is my prayer life and meditation life, then I feel that I am doing the right thing.
Prayer and meditation are not the same.
No, prayer and meditation are two
Not the
different
same.
things.
All right, but about meditation, do you have a tip or a suggestion for the many people who watch us about what would be the best way to meditate, a successful technique for it?
Yes. When you meditate, the very first thing that meditation demands from us is peace of mind. And how do you get peace of mind? You get peace of mind only when you do not allow any thought to enter into our mind. Each time a thought enters into our mind, we feel that somebody is knocking at the door, or somebody is hammering at the wall. So now we don't want to be disturbed by thoughts or anything that is not in tune with our prayer and meditation.
How do you meditate consciously? That was interesting to hear. I mean, when you say meditation, I think the average person out there in the audience will think basically the Buddha position or something of that nature. How do we meditate?
You meditate even while you're sitting there.
Now I'm meditating. See, I am here with you on television, here at the studio. I'm very grateful to see.
And with that, he's meditating. I don't want to interrupt, but I'm curious how he's able to do that.
So this is
takes
where,
me 3 hours to fall asleep. How can you do that?
No.
It is
As soon as it is at my command that I don't want. Believe me, I didn't allow any thought interference. I didn't allow any thought. I just, in a fleeting second, I entered into my highest I don't want.
But did you hear me speaking while I was interrupting?
Yes, I was quite conscious. But it did not disturb me. That you said they don't want to interrupt me, but it did not interrupt me. It did not interfere. I heard it, but at the same time it did not affect me. Like the sky, the birds are flying and the planes are flying. I don't think the sky is affected. Vast sky, you see, we hear noise. We human beings, when we hear the loud crash, loud noise, and the plane, and makes, then we are disturbed. We are annoyed. But the sky is not annoyed.
The golden flute, a sea of peace and joy and light, beyond my reach I know. In me the storm-tossed weeping night finds room to rage and flow. I cry aloud, but all in vain. I helpless, the earth unkind. What soul of might can share my pain? Death dart alone I find. Reft am I on the sea of time, my oars are washed away. How can I hope to reach the climb of God's eternal day? But hark, I hear the golden flute, its notes bring the summit down. Now safe am I, O Absolute. Gone death, gone nights, stark frown.
Do you follow any particular diet?
No, well, I am a strict vegetarian, and my students are all strict vegetarian.
Why vegetarianism?
We know deep within us there are animal qualities. We quarrel, we fight, we are jealous of others, and we do many things undivine. Now, when we look at an animal, we see these are the animal qualities and propensities we see around us. But if we eat meat, then the qualities of the animal world enter into us. Whereas if we eat vegetables, then the mild qualities of the vegetable kingdom enters into us. So we are trying to have a quiet, mild life. Therefore, it is advisable to be vegetarian if one wants to expedite the spiritual progress.
Gurudev, it is obvious to you that there are scientists out there, I'm sure, who hear you say that if one eats meat, one acquires the mentality of the animal.
One becomes restless. That's all. Now here we're trying desperately to become calm and quiet and tranquil, so it will not serve our purpose.
How do you respond to the skeptical scientist, though, who says, how can you prove this?
Spirituality is not something to prove. And if I know what I am doing satisfies me, I do not have to budge an inch to prove to you or anybody. The very fact that I am enjoying what I am supposed to enjoy. So here, by proving to others, what do we gain? We just enter into the world of confusion and contradiction. Whereas if I know that I am enjoying nectar, divine bliss, let the whole world criticize me or disbelieve me, I will not pay any attention to it. For if I know what my goal is, and if I am in my goal, let the world tell me that I have not come even to the starting point. I shall not mind.
Do you follow any particular diet?
I'm a strict vegetarian from the age of 12. Until the age of 12, I used to eat meat, fish, and so forth, and being a
Not at all
Bengali.
now.
Oh no, now I don't. From the age of 12, at the age of 12, I entered into a spiritual community in South India, and there meat and fish are forbidden. So now, since then, my students also, I have disciples all over the world.
Yes.
They do not take meat and fish because meat, fish, they make us restless. They aggravate our consciousness.
And obviously,
our spiritual life needs poise, peace, and calmness, tranquility.
I must break here. That's the only reason I'm interrupting. But obviously, that precludes dumb things like drugs and alcohol and.
I'm
those
getting
terrible
calmer
things.
as I talk to you.
I know it's beautiful when you're with him. It's terrific feeling.
Anything that stimulates us is forbidden.
The pilgrims of the Lord Supreme. We are the pilgrims of the Lord Supreme on the path of infinity. At this time we have broken asunder obstruction's door. We have broken asunder the night of tenebrous darkness in conscience and the eternal indomitable fear of death. The boat of the supernal light's dawn is beckoning us, and the world pilot of the hallowed bond of love divine is beckoning us. The liberator's hands are drawing us to the ocean of the great unknown, having conquered the life breath of the land of immortality and carrying aloft the banner of the Lord Supreme. We shall return with the drops and flames of transformation light.